Hello, hello. Welcome to day 7. I'm holding the tripod so I can't put my 7. Can't put my numbers up. I hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's day 6 when we went through vision boards. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, my name is Jamie. I am the J in JLOVES, and for this month I am vlogging every single day, and we are creating our heaven on earth planning together. We are taking every day and in little bits and pieces so we're not overwhelmed, and so that we really plan out our heaven on earth. So I hope that you're having a good time with it. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please click here and take a look at video 1, day 1. So yesterday we went through a bunch of different types of vision boards that you can do, and for anyone who's been following, go ahead and basically with the vision boards, you know, I mentioned several different ways. The next few days, just keep collecting stuff. So take your time with it, figure out which method that you want to use, and yeah, start putting the things that we put together from our vision, our purpose, what excites us, what we love, etc. 1-year goals that we already know that we're going to have for this year. And of course, remember, after in these next few days, we're going to start diving into looking at the OOLA, O-O-L-A categories, and we're going to start picking out and picking goals for each category. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go into the OOLA planner. And I know in a previous video I explained the OOLA planner, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at the first step. So the first step with OOLA is to take that survey, and just as a reminder, it is on the computer. If you go to oolalife.com and you scroll to take the free life balance test. Now again, that's a miniature version of it. I would recommend, if you can, getting the $12.99 PDF printer, PDF planner, so that you can print it out. And then as you can see, the survey is got a lot more questions, and so this is going to be the first step. So let me just go back. So you got your planner, and yeah, so step 1, where are you today? And so you know, you kind of read through this, but it takes you through all of the different categories. So again, example, fitness, and then it asks you all these questions, and then you rate them. And then we're going to get a score for each one, and I put in here my old one. So if you look at this column here, this was from January 2020, so a year ago, and you can see in my fitness I was a 5.7. In July of 2020 I got up to a 7.1, and now I feel like I'm at a 7.6. So finance, this was a big one. I can tell you my story, but basically look at this, 1.9. There's a story behind this, a sad one, but well, not sad, but because I learned and grown, and you can see now, you know, it went to a 6 and a 6.7. So and just to reiterate why we're doing this is you're gonna get a score, right, for all of the different categories, and then you're gonna see what that wheel looks like, because remember, we need a balanced wheel. You may think that there's, you know, that you can ignore a couple areas because you need to solely focus on one, but it's not true. We really do need a balance. Now, of course, if there's one area that is really, like, here's their example, if there's a couple areas that are really imbalanced, then we focus on those for sure, but we don't want to focus so hard that we let everything else go. So that's what the OOLA planner does. And then remember, what we're going to do after that, eventually in the next few days, we're going to start mapping out goals, 3 goals for each one, for fitness, for finance, etc. And then after those goals, we are going to narrow down to the top goal from each category. And then we're even going to look at the OOLA 1 goal, the one massive goal that if we even just concentrated on this one, because you know, we're gonna have a lot of clarity. You know, you're gonna get clarity on, you know, where you feel you're at and where you want to improve the most in the upcoming, and you're gonna get clarity on your goals. And then so this may come up, and when you focus on this, your whole life can change. And I can tell you, let me show you my old one. So Natalie and I did this, let me just turn this around for a second. So Natalie and I came across the OOLA planner last year at the time that I filled it out, and we went through it and we did it, and we were good for like a month. We didn't really keep up with it as much because after a month my life got really wild. So let me explain what happened. So in 2019, in December 2019, it's a long story, I'm gonna try to make it short, but in 2019 I was working as a consultant slash contractor. It's what I do technology, and I was, you know, working kind of part-time for it. And at that time I was like, this is great, because I'd actually always wanted to start JLOVES. I have a deep longing to always want to share, and so I wanted to do that. But of course JLOVES means you don't get paid for JLOVES, you know, at least not yet. Maybe in the future, hopefully it becomes something that I figure out a way to, you know, actually sustain myself. But at that time, you know, or at this time, it's not, right? So last year, 2019, I had this contract job. It was part-time, but it was enough to withstand me, right? So December comes around, I actually go to Date with Destiny, which was a super blessing that I got from the universe. Somebody gifted me to go to Date with Destiny, which is a huge Tony Robbins seminar. It was amazing, changed my life. Well, a week before I go, I realized that the contractor, this organization, like, hasn't paid for the last month. And I am kind of new, and I was very new at doing my own business and consulting. For years and years I've been a employee, okay? And you know, my story goes pretty deep, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to do this on my own. And so when this company didn't pay, you know, and you're billing out like 30 days out, right? So it's not like a regular paycheck where you're definitely gonna get paid every 2 weeks or on the 15th and the 30th. Like, no, like this is 30 days out. And I realized in December that they're not going to pay, and not for any good reason. They just, apparently this is a thing that happens with consultants and contractors, and it was new to me, and I was horrified. So you can imagine, all of a sudden, oh, and then I was thinking that I thought that the contract was gonna get renewed for another 6 months, right? And so I was like, okay, great. What I can do is I can concentrate and just do this part-time gig. It's enough to cover the bills, and I can go and do JLOVES. I'm gonna switch a camera because the battery is blinking. I knew I should have used Natalie's camera. I'll be right back. Okay, all right, so sorry about that. I am holding a much heavier camera, so I hope I don't move it around too much. Okay, so where am I? Yes, so in 2019, I'm thinking that I'm gonna renew the contract with this organization, and it's gonna go another 6 months. So I'm like, wow, okay, it barely pays the bills, but that's okay, right? I know how to live like really small. I will do that, and I'll be able to finally concentrate on JLOVES and see what I can do with it, where I can go with it, and or maybe get another contract. So I'm thinking I'm good until I realize they haven't paid. And then I realize they're not gonna pay. And then I realize I actually have 0 income. And I'm going to Date with Destiny, which is very pricey. Again, the ticket was gifted, but you know, there's other expenses that come with that. But I'm going to Date with Destiny, which is a 6 or 7 day event, and I'm not looking for a job. It's Christmas time, it's holidays, and wow, like my life went from, you know, I was already kind of barely surviving financially, to be honest, because again, I've been trying to do the consulting, contracting thing, and I hadn't figured it out quite yet. It was still kind of, you know, it's been a long journey. So when you saw that my finance was 1.9, like it was the worst. And let me show you what my thing looked like. So this is what my wheel looked like. So you can see huge clunk. Huge dip there. Very terrible. It was the worst financial situation I had been in my entire life. What's interesting about that, though, is that even though I was in the worst financial situation of my entire life, now mind you, I was been 14, 15, 16 on my own since then, and you know, I bought a house when I was 19. That's a whole nother story there, and I've always been financially sound for myself, and here I am at 41, 42 years old, and I am just, it's just really terrible. But because I had went to Date with Destiny, because I had gone to UPW, because I had done all of these, I had worked so much on my soul and my spirit, and like getting a handle on my emotions and everything. I was still happy. Now, you remember in December, like last year in December, I was beyond broke. I was definitely red negative, and I was joyful, and that to me felt the most amazing. And again, you have to understand, I am someone who's always been responsible. I'm a single mother. Natalie counts on me. Me being the type of person that like cannot pay the rent and stuff like that is unheard of, and normally would just absolutely like send me into whatever. And it did for a couple of years. I was so bad, but last year I was fine. Now, having said that, how did the OOLA planner help me, and why was I so incredibly grateful for it? No, thank you. She's putting the tripod helping me. I think it's better.
Are you sure it's
Yeah, good? I'm good right now. So how did it help me, and why am I so grateful for it? When I did this OOLA planner, you saw how it has like the 3 goals for each category, right? So in my field, I had put that I really wanted to do JLOVES. In fact, let me show you. I didn't even put anything. Like, I literally put in my field, oh no, it's too far. Look right there. See, first quarter YouTube strategy, second quarter JLOVES goes live, and then 1 video per week. That was my goal for field, right? So, but mind you, I'm not making any money. Let's see what the finance, look at it. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just a hot mess. I'm just like erasing and all kinds of stuff. So when I did my top OOLA goals, let's see, Mom and Me, JLOVES first quarter live. So that's what I claimed was going to be my goal, right? Because I was so focused on that. But remember, I was awfully broke. So I really thought about it, and I said, I have to make at least $5,000 a month. That, when I looked at my OOLA planner and my life goals and stuff, or not life goals, look at those goals, I said to myself, Jamie, you want to do JLOVES, you want to give back, you want to see where this can go, you want to see, because I just have this longing. Now, in the technology field, I do a lot of things, but I'm a technical strategist and a trainer. So really training and teaching and stuff like that's always been in my field. But you can see I've always had this longing, right, for JLOVES. But I couldn't lie to myself. There was no question that the fact that I was a 1.7 or 1.9 and meant, there's no question, Jamie, that's not for you right now. What's for you is finance, and you need to get money. You have to get income. And so I looked at that and I said, okay, that's right. And remember, Oprah Winfrey always says, do what you can until you can do what you want to. And I definitely understood that and did that. And because of that, and actually I set my goal much higher. I figured like $5,000 a month, you know, maybe could barely cover the bills. But I went super high. I was like, I can't aim for 5,000 because if I aim for that, you know, maybe I'll only make 2 or 3 and that's not gonna work very well. So I aimed for much higher. I aimed for like double of that. And because of that, in January, and because I'm doing consulting and contracting stuff, I wasn't wanting to look for a job per se, because I didn't want something to take up all my time, because I really wanted to work on JLOVES. I didn't want a full-time job. You know, one of the reasons why I got out of working in law firms and things like that is because the time is just a killer. It's just like your whole life, right? But I said I need to look, right? So I applied to a couple of things that looked like they would fit into the lifestyle that I needed, which was to give me some freedom and room, so not full-time, but that would still be aligned with my goals. So in training or, you know, helping in some way, of course, technical. And because of that, I ended up landing and getting a contract with one of the Smithsonian museums in February. And literally, I can tell you that of all the positions that I would have ever thought would be perfect, I mean, this one is perfect. It's part-time, it's like the Smithsonian and everything about it is just absolutely amazing. I mean, I could go on and on. If anyone ever sees this from Smithsonian or the National Museum of American Indian, I love the organization. I always have, but now that I'm actually on the inside, wow. I think they're just the best. They're just honestly the best. They're the best organization. They're best to work with and for. I'm so grateful for it. On top of that, because I said I needed to make X amount, I told myself I needed to make $10,000 a month. I also, a good friend of mine that I hadn't seen really in a long time, her name is Amy Cisse. She is brilliant. She's Cisse IT Solutions. And when we worked at a law firm called Kroll & Morin for several years together, and she worked in the application development area. A genius, the woman is brilliant. She is just a genius. I'll link her information down below. But anyhow, I always loved her, but we haven't connected, and I left the law firm many years ago, and we both like just separated, right? I kind of kept in touch, but not really. Long story short, in January, she contacted me and out of the blue said that something had came up. She actually got overbooked for something, and she wanted to know if maybe I could jump in. And actually before that, she asked if I would meet with her and just talk with her about, you know, where am I at, what am I doing, like basically catch up. And I will tell you that under normal circumstances, as silly as this may sound, I had always had real strong social anxiety issues, like very serious social anxiety issues. In fact, when I was a teen, that's one of the reasons why I started seeing a psychologist early on, was because it was hindering my ability to even do anything in life. Like I literally couldn't drive to the gas station unless, you know, a family member was with my cousin, who's a cousin/brother, would come with me. We would go to the gym and work out together, but if I needed to go to the ladies' room, he would walk me to the ladies' room, and I would go into the ladies' room, and he'd wait for me when I came back. Like it was very serious, and the social anxiety had never really gone away fully. It's always been present. Now I say it's gone. It's gone from these last couple years that I've done some even deeper work on myself. But back then when Amy called me, believe it or not, I was like, part of me was nervous about going. I don't know what it is. It's hard to explain. I'll get into social anxiety some other time. But it was a challenge. It wasn't like, oh yes, that's Amy. Maybe she, you know, has some work I can do for her. Like, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see her. Like, even though I was so excited to see her and all those things were true, my social anxiety would actually cause me not to go. It definitely would make me fearful, and maybe I would kind of shy away from going, to be honest. But my OOLA 1 goal, I remember looking at it and it said, you need to make money, because I needed to make money so that I could relax and do JLOVES. I was like, there's no way I can be creative when I'm too stressed about thinking about how am I going to take care of me and Natalie? What am I going to do for money? So I knew that I had to concentrate on that, and the OOLA planner helped me with that. Long story short, I ended up meeting with Amy. It was great. We ended up working together. I ended up working on a contract for a wonderful organization that was just so happened to be able to fit right at the same time with the Smithsonian. So I went from not knowing where I was gonna pay $1, you know, or do anything, like completely financially in ruins, really, honestly, and to jumping on 2 contracts that were both amazing contracts that worked well together. I worked my tail off. If you probably didn't see me from February to July. I literally, I'm talking waking up at 3 in the morning to get work done. It was kind of crazy there for a little while, but now it's calmed down. That one contract actually is pretty much, that project is done. But all of that happened. I'm not gonna say, oh, it was the OOLA planner, you know, but it really was. I don't know if I would have had the clarity. I'm someone who's very creative and I can bounce around, and I might have bounced around going back into JLOVES or going into some other route. I mean, I've been all over the place. I've thought about doing IT government contracts and trying to go into that field. I've tried to go into all kinds of things, but the planner helped me focus and say, Jamie, what is the biggest area that if you change this, what it would change your whole life for the better? And for me last year, it was the finance, getting control of finances, getting income in so I can relax a little bit. Thank goodness I did that. It was the best decision. 2020 ended up being a great year for me with turnaround. My consulting and IT work, that's going splendidly, and it's now a really good balance, because before it was a lot with the 2 projects, but now I can say that I'm able to focus on the Smithsonian Museum, the National Museum of American Indian. And now that I only have the 1, yes, financially it's a little tighter, but I get to do what I love, which is this, which is JLOVES. So, and I don't know where JLOVES is gonna go. I'm hoping that, you know, this is helpful for people. And so far, I've gotten good feedback that, you know, to me, if I reach 1, 2, or 3 people and they say that they learned something from it, then I'm like all smiles. You know what I mean? Because that's all that I want. Again, if I love something, maybe you will love it too. So that is my extremely long explanation of the OOLA planner and the first step with getting clear. So for today, if you're following along, please, what you want to do is just, if you printed the first, you know, 15 or 20 pages of your OOLA planner, go ahead and do the survey. Just do, it's step 1 in the book. Let me show you. And even if you don't have, oops, sorry, I'm a little messy here. Step 1, so we've got the planner. And step 1, where are you today? So do the survey and do it all the way up to just here. The hub, this part here, this section here, and the next section, let's save that for tomorrow. So don't worry about that, just do the survey. And if you don't have the planner, and you don't have, if you can't download or buy the $12.99 planner. See, next year when I have, like, you know, X amount of subscribers and I'm just killing in the money, I'm gonna be gifting a bunch of OOLA planners to everybody, right? But right now,
oh, you're selling your own.
Huh?
You're selling your own.
I'm selling. Oh, right. Oh, Ooh, she just knocked OOLA's planner. Or the JLOVES planner. Uh-oh, OOLA, we're coming for you. But yeah, I'd be gifting a bunch of these. But right now, it's a little tight game here. But if you can't get the $12.99 planner, please go onto the website, go to oolalife.com and take the free life balance test and see where you are on that. That'll be good enough to kind of get you some clarity. And then tomorrow we will talk about the section that goes along with it, which is what they call the hub and the valve. And because they're kind of interesting. It's something that I have to read about some more and just like make sure I fully understand. So we'll fully understand together because I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope that that was helpful and it explains to you why I have such a big heart for the OOLA planner and for Tony Robbins RPM, is that it helped me in such a massive way yesterday. Time really flies. It does feel like it. It really helped me last year. It changed my life to, I went to like this whole next level. The Tony Robbins and all those things helped me with my mental and joy factor and stuff, and then the OOLA helped me get focused to understand where I really needed to concentrate for that year. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that if anyone is going through all this and they're or listening to this and they're thinking, I don't know what the heck I want, right? That was me 3 or 4 years ago. And one of the things that helped me the most, there was 2 things, but was the Marie Kondo and the KonMari Method. If you have not heard of Marie Kondo or KonMari Method, I will talk about it soon, but it's basically, she's, you know, a best-selling author. She has a Netflix documentary. She's a woman who is on a mission to get every human organized with their belongings, but it is so much deeper than that. It's an emotional process, and her book is called Sparks Joy. And I'll tell you just really quick and short, her philosophy is that every person, I might jack this up a little bit, so forgive me, but basically that people can't figure out who they really are, which ultimately means what they really want and what makes them truly happy, and they may have challenges reaching their full happy potential if they don't first go through what she calls a tidying festival. Okay, and what a tidying festival does is it is a time frame where you touch every belonging that you have. There's a whole method behind it. There's a whole how to do it, when to do it, what you do, right? But in short, you end up going through every physical belonging that you have, touching it, holding it, figuring out if it sparks joy or not. And if it sparks joy, figuring out how you want to keep it in your life and in your home so that it really, you know, that you can get the most benefit out of it. And if it doesn't spark joy, you're able to thank it and have, you know, and let it move on, which is amazing. And to me, this actually makes a lot of sense, because think about it. If we want the most amazing heaven on earth, greatest life ever, right? It's a couple things. One, the physical belongings that we have is where we need to start. You know, if we're going to try to go deeper within ourselves and blah, 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 and all this, like, that's going to be hard to do when we haven't even done it with, like, literally the, you know, the piles of papers and the books and stuff that we have in our home. So we have to do that first. And the second thing is, what it really does is it teaches you what really sparks joy. A lot of times we keep a lot of stuff that we keep it for the wrong reasons. We actually keep it because we're fearful that we may need this one day, or we never used it before, but we paid for it, so, you know, that's a waste of money, I have to keep it. And so all of these reasons that we keep things, and it's not true. Like, it means that we're not trusting that we can get that again if we need to. And then also it, like, again, just teaches you what really sparks joy, and your spark joy muscle gets bigger and stronger And when you do that with your belongings first, you end up being able to know what sparks joy in your whole life. People, things, places, philosophies, things about yourself. And so it's incredible. And then the other thing it also does is it allows you to learn how to let go, how to love something, thank it, and allow it to move on so that it can go and benefit somebody else, you know, through donations or whatnot, or if it's not even useful, being able to say goodbye to it. So it's an incredible process, and I'm thinking that one of these months, maybe March, is where I'm going to do a whole Marie Kondo month. So if you're listening to this and you like, and you could comment, or if you know me, message me, let me know what you think about that. There's no question that was one of the biggest things that helped me get to this place that I'm in now. And remember, 3 or 4 years ago, it was extremely dark place. So yeah, I say all that to say that if you're someone who's like listening to this, the whole vision board planning and heaven on earth planning, and you're just like, I don't like you. I don't care about anything. I'm too stressed. I'm too this, I'm too that. Then it's possible that a process like the Tidying Festival and getting deeper into Marie Kondo and the KonMari Method is something that you might want to look into. I definitely recommend it for every human, to be honest. But if you're listening to this and you're not even wanting to do a vision board or not even wanting to plan your heaven on earth, then it might be because you don't believe yet that you can have the happiest life, and maybe you don't, or actually the biggest thing is that you don't know what makes you happy. You know, I think I saw a couple on a Facebook post where it's like, I don't know what I want to do. You know, and that was me. I was all over the place. I always wanted to do JLOVES, but I was still kind of all over the place, to be honest. I was like, do I want to do things on JLOVES where I teach people technology? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? You can't even imagine how many years and how much time I have gone through that in my head. And really, when you go through the Tidying Festival, magical things happen. In fact, I think it's the Spark Joy, the magical something of tidying up. I'm forgetting the name of it, but that's the name of the book. Is that basically she noticed that whenever somebody went through the Tidying Festival, that magic happens for them afterwards in huge and big ways. So I'm a huge believer of it. And again, that might be something, you know, get the audiobook, listen to it when you can. Spark Joy, Marie Kondo. And for everyone else, and for you too, even if you're thinking, I think I need to do the Marie Kondo, you can still do this. And then the Marie Kondo and the Tidying Festival can be one of your goals. So don't think that you can't do this. And in fact, I would still recommend, please do your heaven on earth. And don't worry, if you do the Tidying Festival this year, you're gonna learn what you really love. So don't leave. Do it with us. And yeah, do your surveys, and we will see you tomorrow, and we'll talk about the second part of the step 1 in the OOLA planner, which is the hub and the valve. Okay? All right. I thought this was gonna be quick, and then I just keep talking. I hope it's helpful for someone. I love you. Please comment, like, subscribe, and please share this if you think it is helpful, or share the channel. And also take a look. I'm doing also documenting my 10-day green smoothie cleanse. So check out here. I think it's this side. I keep getting it wrong. Check it up here to take a look if that has any interest. It's been amazing. It's been going great. I'm like, I think 4 pounds or so lighter and full of energy. So anyhow, I love you. Mwah. Sorry to keep you so long again. Natalie, you want to say bye? Bye.